Hey y'all, well the blueberry harvest is done for this year, and now it's time to start getting things ready for next year already. You know, we already got to do things to start preparing for next season. So we got many projects going on. I'll be honest with you, with the heat we have, it's going to be 100+ degrees for the next week or so. We're not going to do a whole lot of work throughout the day. We'll work till about noon, and then we'll kind of lay off until late afternoon, and we'll do something, you know, before dark. But one of the things we got going on is we've got a greenhouse here that we're getting together. We got some fittings and stuff we got to get together. We got to get some more lines in there. We've got the pots filled up with pine bark, and that's to take cuttings off of blueberry plants so that we can start more plants for this year's sales. We sell plants in the fall, and then also to fill in skips and things where our plants are dying or have died in the past. This month, July and August and September, are really hard on the plants. They've fruited, so you know that's pretty stressful. But then also the heat is real stressful. So we do lose a lot of plants in the hot summer months, especially if we have like a spider or some sort of little bug clog a dripper up. You know, it can go a couple days without water, and it stresses the plant and they'll just die on us. So we're always having to replace plants, and that's just part of it. So, but then another project we got going on is we're going to do some pruning of the plants we have out there. We've got a couple guys working that are pruning, hand pruning, but I'm going to jump on the tractor here and use this pruner that I had built. It's a it's a sickle bar, and got a frame welded up for it. Got hydraulic cylinder. It's run off a hydraulic motor, and it's about 5 foot, I guess, tall, and I can run down the sides, and then I can run down the tops and cut the tops off, and I'll show you a little bit about that. It just all hooks up back here to a control valve right there. It allows it to, you know, for me to turn the motor on for the sickle bar, and then I can move it up and down and what have you too with the other controls on the joystick there with the tractor. This tractor doesn't put out enough gallons per minute of flow for the hydraulics, so we had to build a tank and put a pump on it right there so that we can actually run that pruner bar, or whatever you want to call it, sickle bar, and it works really well. I got this used, as you can tell, it's used, but it came off the bottom of a big tractor. They use it on the bottom of tractors to cut brush down the edges of the highways and stuff. And so I found it at a tractor place here not too far away, and had it all framed up. So, but I'm gonna get started doing that, and then, you know, hopefully we'll show you a few other things. It may be later this afternoon, I don't know. It just depends on how hot it is. So here we go. I got an old bill of cooking oil that I'll use to lubricate this thing up. This little slide bar here, this kind of helps it. Just apply a little bit of that to it, and oil it up some, keep the friction down on it just a little bit. You know, this cooking oil tolerates a lot of heat, and it's you know, food grade type stuff, so I always lube it up with that instead of using any kind of grease or any kind of stuff, or just regular oil. Lined up. Do this. I'm gonna get lined up and do the sides first. Tilt this thing over just a little bit so that it's grabbing and cutting pretty good. Now, I'm gonna just ease down through here. I'm gonna rev it up just a little bit. Blades are going. I adjust it as I'm going. Kind of try to make sure that it's cutting right. The ground's not always level, so I've got to be watching it, tilting it forward a little bit. And cut it down through here. Just gonna trim the edges off these things first, tops off. I'm gonna try to keep them looking nice and as good as possible, and then it also is going to help more growth. Everywhere I cut, it's going to grow more limbs. You can tell there's lots of blueberries in here. They're very good too. But that's part of it. We don't always get them all. Not sure if you can tell, but it looks pretty good down through there. It cuts those shaggy limbs off and kind of squares the sides up. Looking good so far. Well, you guys, I'm doing the sides of these plants, and I just found something very interesting I want to show you just real quick. Look at there. He thinks he's hid, don't he? Isn't he cute? His mama ran right over here somewhere. She ain't had him long. I don't know if I should move him into the shade or not. Looks like he's wore out. Cute little fella. Looks tired. Hey, buddy. I think he thinks he's safe. That thing took off, man. He's way down yonder now. He's lost. His mama went the other way. You can see him way down there. Now we got the sides done. Now we're going to take off the tops. We're going to cut them roughly 42 to 45 inches tall. Set right here. Let's see how that looks right there. I'll leave it to it to see what it looks like. Get everything perfect. It does a good job. It'll take a few days and I'll get it knocked out. It'll be ready for next year. Not sure, but I may hear something rattling on the end of this thing out here. Sometimes some of these little guides right here get loose. You got to be careful. It's either that or one of these teeth. Here's something. I don't know where it's at. Nothing seems. Uh-oh. There it is right here. Doggone it. I knew I heard something start rattling. I don't know. I welded that on there before. As you can see, it broke off. and I put a little bolt and nut on there and tacked it. Somehow or another it's got loose. I think it's watered that hole out in that thing. I think that's all of them that's loose. On it. Well, I'm glad I caught it. I'm on my 5th row doing the sides and the tops, and it's been 2 hours. So that tells you how long it takes to go down through there and how slow you got to go. I'm gonna try to get the tops knocked off of this before that comes apart, and then after that I've got some other things I got to do, so I ain't gonna be able to finish the rest of the day. I got a lot of rows over here. We got a lot of field left to do, but it'll have to be another day or maybe this afternoon. I'm gonna try to finish this one. Well, we got lucky and held together till we got through. We'll go fix it, work on something else the rest of the day.